and they were all young people, no foreign. I tell you this, the entire protest you see, nobody has given a dime. In one of the days, I was just leading the protest.
They're a freeze account of some people. They said foreign influence money.
We don't know about that. It's so surprising to me to hear that people were donating with money and sending from abroad and all of that into Nigeria. In one of the protests, is there, a young man came up the stage and took 5,000 and said, he's donating to buy water. Another lady went and brought some bags of water. People were just bringing things. Another person, 1,000. I and my family, we were buying the drinks and the water. People were standing from 7 a.m. until 2 when I would dismiss them to go back home. I mean, nobody was crying of getting food because they said they are already...
How many people did you mobilize in Jos?
Oh, they were in their tens of thousands.
Did you guys count them? Do you have a register of the people that came out?
And we didn't have the distance, but if you take something that spanned almost half a kilometer, that tells you the crowd.
And you mobilized all of them?
Yes, we mobilized all of them.
And the church mobilized all of them?
The church and the people. I mean, it's both Muslims and Christians. It will amaze you. The number of the Muslims, the wall of religious divide that politicians have been using all these years has collapsed in northern Nigeria. The plateau you see, while the Muslims were having prayers, I would ask the Muslim brothers, okay, it's time for your prayer. And then the Christians will surround them and the Muslims will offer their prayer.
So who are these people carrying these flags? If you say they are not your people.
These people you see carrying these flags, let me tell you about the North. That's my place.
Okay.
One thing about the Northerners is that the Northerners, let me use the word, they are driven by an ideology. When something comes into them and they see it's working, they will tend to pick it up and run with it. Most of these things came from this recent Niger. They are seeing Niger as working because Nigerians are now going into Niger to seek for refuge. So they are seeing Niger, they are seeing Burkina Faso working. So they are now demanding, I'll tell you the truth, they are now demanding that if the military rule can provide Niger
with a fence according to the constitution, the military, we can't afford to have anarchy.
Yeah, but that is the level of the understanding of the people.
Prophet, 2 questions. The first is, tell us about the role of Solomon Dalong, because we were told that he was your partner in leading the protests in Plateau State. And then secondly, the other question I wanted to ask you, respond specifically to President Tinubu's address. Are you satisfied with the address, or do you believe, like some other people who were involved, civil society groups who were involved, that the president was delivering beautiful nonsense, to quote Omoyele Sowore?
Let me, Mr. Chief Solomon Dalong is an amazing soul, I tell you. He's an amazing, amazing soul. I mean, he got to know about the broadcast and that I made in Warri. And when he got into these spaces, he discovered that the young people were discussing about that broadcast. And so that got him passionate about, okay, if this is it, he's going to be part of it. And I tell you, he has done a lot in shifting the minds of the Northerners, majority of the Northern youth, from the violent part of protest to a peaceful part of protest. He's a great soul. Number 2, he came out to apologize to the Nigerian people that I was part of a government. We promise you that this is what we're going to do. But I feel so bad that we did not deliver, and I'm sorry. And he apologized before the entire crowd. That is what leadership is all about. And I tell you, if we can have few...
That's not Tinubu, that's Buhari.
Yes, that's Buhari, but he was part of a government. He was part of APC. This was what they promised, but this is what they brought on the people. So one thing with leadership is to own up your irresponsibility or your failure. Let me come to the presidential address. I mean, that was, to me, that was out of point. I was expecting, Mr. President, there is no protest that has given such a long notice like this protest. And I was expecting the president to come out, let me give you this, on 4 things. Quickly. Number 1, My government, I have heard your cry. My government immediately will work on the subsidy, the reinstatement of the subsidy for the next 6 months. While we fix the CNG kits and what have you, the convertible centers across the nation. That's number one point. I'm giving directives that in the next 7 days, you can take me on ABC. All right? On agriculture, I am instructing the Minister of Agriculture immediately to deploy all the instruments that are required. Number one, there are crops that you can grow them in 1 month. There are crops you can grow them in 60 days. There are crops you can grow them in 90 days. Cassava of 90 days, rice of 90 days, corn of 90 days, apart from the vegetables. Apart from the land where we are having issues with security, there are still land where people can cultivate not GMO product, but our real agricultural plants or products. And so in the next 3 months, Nigerians, you can take me up. We're going to have this number of food supply. I am instructing the military and the armed forces to give a cover to farmers to protect them in the farms. That is what we were expecting. I heard that fertilizers were released. Sir, I bought 450 plots of land in the city of Jos in order to distribute to families to farm this year. I bought a bag of fertilizer for 40,000. I never saw one fertilizer from the federal government. And they said 200 trucks.
Did you see rice?
I never saw anything.
Rice.
I know nothing was there.
All right. Okay. So let me come in, and this is really important.
So let me.
So the last two.
Yeah. Let me take you on the third one. The third one on the electricity tariff. This thing is biting hard on manufacturers and producers. And so what he needed to do is, okay, on the electricity tariff, we're withdrawing this tariff for this period of time. Until we get our acts together, then we're going to implement the electricity tariff. Number 4, what the president needed to do was quickly to instruct the armed forces to act on the state of security and then say, okay, we want 100 youths in every village, especially in the areas where we're having this insecurity issue. Because I want you to liaise with the 100 youths to secure this territory. That's all the president needed to do. Then number 5, on my cabinet, I am going to reject this cabinet. 85% of the members of the cabinet are non-functional. They're just wasting the resources. And the president needed to cut down on the cost of governance. For me, as the president of Nigeria, I'm cutting down on the total allowance. 50% of my allowance. It's not a poor man.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, thank you for, I would like.
So we all heard what El-Buba has to say, and this video is just a whole lot, but I cannot harvest someone else's video and just put it here for you guys all. But if you want to watch the main thing, you can go to Arise News and watch everything from A to Z. But there are some few things Prophet El-Buba is saying that I would say that I support him. If a lot of Nigerians or all these big pastors are coming out to speak or say something concerning the situation on ground or concerning what is happening in Nigeria, I feel like Nigeria will be a better place. We need people that they don't care about their life. They are willing to actually put their life at stake, because what he is saying on this national television, you know that a lot of forces, a lot of people are actually going to come for him because he is speaking what they do not like. And this is just a whole lot. But if what he is saying in details, the federal government can actually come out and do the way he is saying, there wouldn't have been this protest in the first place. Or even though you are not going to do something, come out to give people assurance, say that, okay, these things, changes cannot be met at a moment, or things cannot just go back to the way they used to be overnight. This thing, give me so period of time, let me work towards it. Then when I don't do it, you hold me accountable, responsible for it, that, oh, I made a promise and I couldn't actually keep to my promise, and my government is bad. But you know, a lot of politicians with egos and their, let's say, these presidents, they will never admit to their mistakes when they are wrong. And everything that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came out to read. The last time I made a video and I said that what he is saying, I don't understand anything because it does not make sense to me as a layman. I don't understand because it was some kind of grammars upon grammar. And if at the end of the day what you are saying is actually truth, we the poor masses, do you think we're going to benefit from it? If you like, submit all the business certificates in the world. As a poor man, as a daughter or a son of a nobody, nobody's going to give you those loans that he's saying that loans are available for you to take. So that is it. So how are you creating awareness as a president? The Nigerian that you told us that you're going to build Nigeria, even despite all President Muhammad Buhari has destroyed Nigeria, you're going to build Nigeria just like the way you built Lagos. And a lot of people are coming out to say you did not build Lagos, Baba. Yet you were in charge, you were the father of protest, but you did not build Lagos from scratch or to what it is today. Every ethnic groups in Nigeria actually contribute to the growth of Nigeria because there is no state or no tribe in Nigeria that one family member or somebody from that particular community it's not living in Lagos. So we need to actually see some things and actually tell them the way it is. Like I said, this video is a whole lot, but I cannot just put someone else's work out there full. So you can go to Arise News and actually watch it to the full and get more understanding or the full details of what Prophet El-Buba has to say. See, when men of God can actually come out to speak, let's even forget about him being a pastor or a prophet. There's something he says that actually got me. He says that he has made a decision that this year he's going to have seminars in almost all the states in Nigeria, and he decided not to fly plane, like he can actually book a business class and fly within Nigeria. He's well equipped, he has the money, you could tell he's a business person. So he says that he can do that, but he said no, he wanna use the road to actually experience what other people are also experiencing. But based on how he is and how he's looking, you could tell that he has level of advantage over some certain type of issues, or he has more upper hand in terms of financial stability. He has it, so he can easily fly. But he decided to say no, let me actually come down to the level that I used to be, or to the level of some certain kind of people, because we don't actually know the full details of his background, where he's actually coming from. We know his name, we know, but like his upbringing, his family history, his family tree, we don't know whether he's one of those people that were born into wealth or somebody that is born into a family with a lot of privilege. We don't know whether he worked his way to the top. But there's something that he's actually saying, that he's actually speaking my own language, he's speaking what I understand, in terms of he understands that we are suffering, and he's actually willing to put himself out there to make sure that some basic demands are met at the end of the day, and some things are being put in place in Nigeria. Because like he said, Tinubu is not a poor man. Tinubu, if he wants to feed the entire Lagos state for 10 years, he's capable. He won't even know that he has taken a pin out of his money. That is how rich and wealthy Tinubu is. So you cannot come and contend with an old money. Tinubu's money is oozing, like in the smell. Old money they smell. Be like new money where you make it just the new pro. Say money where your grandmother don't keep for inside bag. If you come out and be like the thing they like you, I don't understand how I go take talk. I'm like, you get how it did the oozing. That is how Tinubu's money is. It's not a baby's money. These are old money that have been into existence, money that is not today, they made them. So you cannot come and say that he's hungry or he doesn't have the capacity. He does. He has everything he needs. He has everything that can sustain him for the remaining part of his life. So I don't know where these people are making this money and how they intend to actually do things, but I just say let me come here and chit chat after what El-Buba has to say. Honestly, it's high time Tinubu actually reduce his cabinet member, then cut down on their salary, just like what the Kenya president actually did. Because this protest, they are looking at it as if it's weak, it's not going to amount to anything, they are not going to achieve anything, even their protest from now till tomorrow. But one thing I need to assure you is that these things, it's like, it's like this thing, how will I call it? Which kind of, I don't know which English to use, but it's like this kind of wildfire that when it starts, you think that it's not going to spread, but before you know, the thing is just everywhere. It's burning down forests. You see a thick forest, you think that this fire is not going to penetrate because the leaves there, the trees there are green, and then at the end of the day, you see that it has wiped everything, and you'll be like, wow, that is what they call wildfire. And this is what this protest is actually like heading towards or leading to at the end of the day, if the demands of the masses are not met. Me, I'm hungry. I don't know about you. A lot of my family members are hungry because country has become hard. My people could not go to farm because of lack of security reasons, because Fulani herdsmen have been bashing people's head off if you go to your farm to farm, or they take their cows there, you talk, they pick you up like nchi, and then they slice you up. That is what they are doing in the part of the country that I come from, and it's heartbreaking. So they need to do something. The federal government need to put a lot of things in place. Okay, we are not asking you to send barrels of rice, of things. There are some things they even made mention for those states that farm, let's say the middle belt and the north central. They say they send trailers of fertilizer. We are not asking for your fertilizer. What is it called? Like, we don't want that. We can buy our own thing, because at the end of the day, they ask you to go and write name in your ward. After writing name in your ward, they'll forward it to the local government. Then from the local government to the state. Then from the state to, like, it does not get to you. Sometimes they give you one module rubber paint of fertilizer. Then at the end of the day, you want to tell me that this one is this, that one is that. So let them do something. See, invest money into agriculture, things that can last. Or see, like I'm saying this thing, if you have a backyard, and if it's to go and even fetch water from river to water plants, you better do it now. Because the kind of hunger that is coming next year, from the ending of this year towards next year, it's going to be bloody. Like, when it comes to hunger, people are going to be counting their teeth in skeleton, because hunger is going to finish a lot of people. And your money, you think you have money. See, you have money, you go to the markets with 100k, you cannot buy what you want to eat, because in as much as the federal governments are bad, even the citizens of Nigeria are bad, those that are trading. Because you go to the market, any little thing, dollar has gone up, they will increase price. How do we help each other grow? We are speaking about the federal government. We ourselves, we are also doing ourselves. Is it not witchcraft? So let's do something before this country turn into something else. Honestly, I will applaud Prophet El-Buba for actually coming to national television to air out everything that was in his mind, and what his intentions and what Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to do, not to come and read us essay. That is just what I want to share with you. Please do it to subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel. Comment, like, share with family and friends, and also don't forget to turn on the post notification to get notified. Thank you very much for watching. You are blessed.